So in this next section, we're going to talk about why people buy. Many parts of the video will actually discuss why they don't buy if we didn't resolve their concerns, if we didn't close effectively, but I definitely think it pays to have a fundamental understanding of what causes customers to make the purchase now. One of the key things, at least for my selling style, is the idea that the purchase must be resolving a problem that the customer already has. Specifically, pointing out the benefits of our product is not enough to make a sale. A good example of this would be, imagine you were at Walmart and you already owned a blender, and a salesman came up to you and said, "Hey, I got this blender. It's really great. It chops ice and does a bunch of other cool blender stuff."
Like a Blendtec.
It's a blend or a bullet, or
a magic bullet. Let's say it's that.
A magic bullet. I like that. You already own a blender. You don't need a blender. You're not necessarily in the market for a blender. You may identify that this new thing has cool features, but since you don't need it, you don't want it, and you already own one, he's not really communicating on your wavelength, and you're probably not going to buy one. The salesman may close you well, but you're not going to buy it because he never addressed the key element, which is, I'm fixing a problem with the blender you already have. What that means in a sale is, before you start selling the customer, before they'll buy from you, you have to identify specifically not just the benefit of the new product, but how it benefits them in their current situation. They have to identify that their DVR now doesn't record enough shows that they would like. Their high definition isn't on enough TVs, that their bill is too high before you can lower their price or give them more stuff. That's not enough to make the sale.
Yeah, that reminds me of a little concept I call show up and throw up. It's when a brand new rep learns all of this new stuff and learns why DirecTV is the most superior television product out there, and they knock that door before they even ask what they have. It's like, we have NFL Sunday Ticket, we have the Genie, it's #1 thing, we're less expensive, we have the best high definition out there, and it's just throwing up on the customer before you actually find out what it is that they want. Because a lot of times all that stuff doesn't even matter. You might just have one little channel that they don't have, and that's why they buy. Or it might be parental content, or it might just be a little thing. It doesn't have to be everything. So don't show up and throw up on customers. You really want to, like Jay was talking about, get on their wavelength, find out what's in it for them, which we'll talk about later. But now I'll go into it right now. There's a frequency in every person's mind. It's called WeFM. It's a radio station. And it's an acronym that stands for What's in It for Me. And when you can really tune into their radio station, their wavelength, like Jay referred to, and step into their mind and really create some value, that's when you're going to make the sales. It's not always, because it's less expensive, I'm going to buy. Some people like buying stuff that's more expensive because in their mind, they want the best quality product out there, So you have to find what they care about and really hit on that.
Sure. One of the difficult parts too, when in a sales connotation with the radio station, is that because you're a salesman, because you're there presenting a product, they're going to likely tune into what's in it for you. So it's really important for you to focus that conversation on specifically making their life better through the product. And a lot of times it's done through the equipment and the actual benefits they'll see from the product. I see a lot of sales reps really just going to a savings as their selling point. I find that customers don't buy because of a savings, they buy because of the equipment. The savings overcomes their objections later on down the road, but it may not be enough just to sell them on that. The other thing a customer has to have in order to buy from you is they have to like you and they have to trust you. If you're coming from an oppositional standpoint, if you're challenging the customer, if you're being condescending in any way, if you're being overly aggressive, ultimately it's your job to make your presentation palatable to that customer. If they perceive any of those things, they're not going to buy from you. People only will buy from people that they like, that they trust, and people who are aware of what's in it for the customer. It's really the only person that's important in the sale.
Good points.